Lovely. So I'm going to give you lots of options with the planks. And one of the options is also just to sort of hold a plank either on your knees or on your hands if you feel like the movements that we're adding in are a little bit too challenging. But as I said, we'll be moving around a little bit with planks, so I'll move around so you can see what we're doing as well. Okay, but just to begin with, we're going to start to warm up into our spine. So if you want to come and find somewhere to stand, and just make sure you've got a bit of space around you this evening. As I say, we're going to be a little bit more energetic. Got to get those mince pies burnt off. Okay, so we're just going to start with some roll downs. So nice and tall to begin with. Let's just slow everything down by taking a deep breath in and out. In fact, let's just do that once more. So deep breath in and out. Now keeping your breath just as deep and slow, begin to roll down through the bones of your spine, peeling down through from the top to the bottom, working into any stiff segments, but not forcing it to begin with. So we just want the kind of weight of our arms to open up the back. Pause at the bottom so you can do a nice deep inhale and exhale, and then slowly stack back up to stand. Good stuff. And then just keep going. So slowly down, slowly up. Maybe going a little bit deeper with every roll down. Well done, everyone. Good. Keep them going nice and slowly. Just enjoy that slow movement. We're going to get a little bit more challenging in a moment. So I just want you to really open up into the back and just keep it simple with some nice deep breaths. Okay, keep going through your roll downs, but we're going to start to think of walking out along the mat now. So on your next roll down, if you need to, you're going to bend your knees just so you can bring your hands comfortably down onto the mat. Once you're there, you're going to keep walking the hands forwards and either stop with the knees bent but lifted, or walk all the way out into a full plank. Pause at the bottom, draw your tummy towards your spine, and then walk your hands back to your feet and slowly stack back up to stand. So once again, you've got the option of doing that little box lift plank where you're in a 4-point kneeling position with the knees floating off the floor. I'll just show you one of those. Making sure that that back's flat. So we don't want the bottom in the air. We want that back to be low. Pause as you draw your tummy up towards your spine and then walk back in again, or we take it all the way out into full plank. So I really want you to pause and connect with that deep tummy pull. So really drawing your belly button away from the floor, because we're going to use all of these tummy muscles as we build up for a few more challenges with our planks. Let's just do a few more of these. So rolling down, don't rush the roll down, but as you're feeling a little bit more flexible, you could maybe reach a little bit further with straight legs. When you're in that full plank, think heads lifted, shoulders down, bums down as well. We want a nice long spine. Sorry, I've not really got a very good top on to show you that. I took him. Good, we'll do 2 more. If you want a long diagonal line through the back of your body when you're in that full plank, it's all about keeping that tailbone tucked underneath. Pause at the bottom. You can use your pelvic floor as well here, making sure your feet are hip distance apart. Let me come and see you all do one. Good stuff. Well done, everyone. Keep them going. We're going to hold the next one. So holding, I think we're all in that full plank, but if you want to come back to your box plank at any point, you can do. So bring yourself into a plank position, either with the knees bent and lifted or the legs straight. holding here. When you get there, just hold. So imagine there's a mirror between your hands and you're looking at the mirror, but a helium balloon is floating your head away from the floor. You're going to press the heels of your hands into the floor, so your shoulder blades wrap around your rib cage and you're really tucking that tailbone underneath. And try and increase the connection between your rib cage and your pelvis. Just hold here and breathe. Now, if you need to drop your knees at any point, you can do. Have a breather and join back in. Well done. We're not doing anything else. We're just holding, which is hard enough, I know. Keep holding. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Bring those knees down onto the mat and just sit back into your heels and have a rest. Well done. Nice long hold with your plank. So I just want you to pause there. I'll talk you through and demonstrate what we're going to do next. So if you find the next exercise too much of a challenge, you can just bring yourself back to that plank, holding nice and tightly. Otherwise, we're going to try and add a little bit of movement with the plank. So you can either do this from your knees or from your toes. The key with this is keeping your plank nice and steady. So you've got a tray of drinks resting on your shoulders. So your first option with your knees, bring yourself into your box position, make it a little bit longer, and then just take your shoulders over your wrists. Tuck your tailbone underneath, draw your tummy towards your spine, and then you're going to walk your left hand towards your right hand, and then your right hand out to the side. Let your body move, and then bring your right hand back to the middle, left hand goes out, and then we come across to the left side. So you're kind of moving from side to side and almost pivoting on your knees. I'll show you what that looks like from the front. So we go across, and then back to the centre, all the while drawing your tummy towards your spine and keeping your shoulders stable. Okay, so that's your option on your knees. Okay, your option on your toes is everything walks across. So rather than moving in a diagonal line, we move in a straight line. So we set up with plank. Okay, you're going to step your right leg across and your left hand in, and then your right arm comes out and your left leg comes in. Come back to the centre, opposite arm, opposite leg. That's the easiest way to say it. Okay, and out to the side. So you're going to do one step to either side of your mat, and then come back to the centre, keeping your body as steady as you can. Okay, so I'll show you from front on, out to one side, back to the centre, out to the other side. These should feel tough, so only do them if you can keep your spine nice and steady. You've also got that option on your knees. Good, well done, Helen, good option. Good work, Sue. Lift that head a little bit for me. That's it. Can't see you, Liz, Emma or Jill, or Mum or Dad. Keep it going. Okay, keep going. Which was the other option that you're doing? You're doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself back to the centre. And again, sit back into your heels. Gosh, I don't know if it's just because I was talking through that, but that really got my heart rate up. Maybe yours as well. Okay, have a breather there. Sit back into those heels. So we're not quite done with these planks. We're going to add a little bit more of a challenge around those shoulders, this time with some taps to each shoulder. So you can do this off your knees or off your hands. So when you're ready, set yourself up, okay? So keep those shoulders nice and level, tummy towards the spine, and then bring one hand across your chest, touch it to the opposite shoulder. Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing from front on here. Keep that tummy drawn in, breathe deeply. Okay. Or we can be on the toes doing this. Now with the toes, I want a really nice level pelvis. If touching the shoulders feels too high, you can come somewhere in between and just touch the elbows. So your hand doesn't have to be off the mat for quite so long. Oh, looking good. Well done, Jill. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Down we go with the knees, and again, just sit back into your heels. Big one for the tummies, but also probably starting to feel the effects of that in the wrists and the shoulders as well. Very nice. So we're going to keep working through some planks. This time we're going to work the lower tummy. So again, you can do these on your knees, or you can do these on your toes. This time we're going to think about drawing the knees up towards the tummy. So what that looks like from the knees: we set up, we bring the weight over the wrists, we draw one knee in towards the tummy, and then we take it out behind us again. Knee comes into the tummy and take it out behind. I want you to really focus on shortening your the tension in your tummy. So tighten your tummy even more as you bring that knee in, okay? How that would look in your full plank position is here. You can have a little play around with that if you want to. If you want to stay on your knees but take your knees a bit further away, you can do. Now that tray of drinks is now resting on the small of your back. So we want to keep that back as steady as we can. Press through those hands so your shoulder blades are firmly wrapped around your rib cage. Keep it going. Well done. Slow it down a little bit. 10, 9, 8. Well done. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You rest there. I'm going to show you where we're taking it next. We're going to cross that knee over now. So that knee is going to go to the opposite elbow. When you're ready, you can join in, okay? So now we're shortening the opposite ribs to the opposite hip. And if you can, you're going to look across to the elbow that your knee is pointing to. So this can be done on your toes, or you can come down onto your knees. Just think, shortening across your hips, shortening across your waist, tightening in a diagonal line, tightening across your body. Those oblique muscles that sit across the trunk. Slow it down, guys. Good. We're going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Come back. And again, sit back into those heels. We're nearly done. I've got one more for you, okay? Well done. Have a little break. Now, we were going through nice and slowly with the last exercise. You've got the option to go a bit quicker with this, but I'll show you a slow option first, okay? If any of you are really struggling with your wrists, you can bring it onto your forearms, okay? We're all going to go for a long plank with this if you can. If you can't, just take it onto your knees and hold it. But we're aiming to come into that full plank. We're going to step one leg out to the side of the mat, the other leg out to the side of the mat, back in, 1 foot at a time. So we're going out, out, in, in. Keep that pelvic floor or tummy engaged, in. If that's too much, just hold it here. For those of you that want to go a little bit quicker with this last challenge on the planks, promise no more planks. We're going to jump the legs out and in. So out, in, kind of like a hopscotch. See if you can keep your tray of drinks steady on your back. You won't be able to. Okay, options: slow out and in or quick out and in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Little bit lower with your hips, Liz, if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, you brilliant people. Sit back into your hips, into your heels, I can't speak, and rest for a moment. You did a lot more than those than I did, so well done. Thursday night, gang, don't worry, Thursday won't look like this. You haven't got to do this twice. Okay, we're going to come on to our backs now. We're over halfway. You'll be pleased to know We're going to take the focus out of our tummies, but we will come back to it. We're going to work onto our kind of glutes and hamstrings a little bit more now. So set yourself up in rest position. Going to come into a bridge to begin with. So lying flat on your back, slowly start to just peel up through your spine. Let's bring it back to that nice, slow, controlled movement with our really steady breath. I definitely feel like I need to slow my breathing down. So peeling away from the mat, one bone at a time, and then smoothing your spine back down. So we've already done that lovely work, haven't we, to try and get our spines moving with our roll down. So let's capitalise on that lovely mobility in the back. Peeling up slowly, and then smoothing down. Drawing in through your pelvic floor, so a little tightening through your pelvic floor as you come up. Pause at the top, and then release as you lower down. You've got 4 more. Enjoy these bridges. We've got a couple more challenges coming up shortly. Hopefully your breathing's slowed down a little bit. Good work, everyone. Nice. Couple more. Keep those knees in line with your hips if you can. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to hold the next bridge. So bring your hips away from the mat. Now your options with this are just how big you make your movement. So if you can, hands on the top of your pelvis just to help keep your pelvis level. You're going to step 1 foot away from you, then you're going to step the other foot away from you, and then you're going to bring the feet back in 1 at a time. So that could be quite a small step, forwards, forwards, backwards, backwards, or it could be quite a long step. And you should feel the longer your legs go, the more it loads up your hamstrings. So in between, if you need to come down and bend those knees, you can do, or you can just keep going, working on repetitions to build up. And you might want to swap which leg starts that step out, that first one, because that leg tends to take a little bit more of the load as your body weight is just lifting into that long leg. You really feel that in the hamstring muscle. It's a big muscle that runs down the back of the thigh. So remember, you don't have to go too long. It could literally be a little toes length forwards and then a toes length back, or it could be a big long stretch. And if you find it difficult to put your feet flat on the floor when you step out, feel free to just dig your heels into the mat, and that will actually get your hamstrings and your glutes working a little bit more anyway. Okay, got 6 more. Try and keep that pelvis level. Forgotten about the tummy now, it's all in the hamstrings. Good. Well done, these are looking good, so I'm going to join in with you. Good, 3 more. Breathing out as you step and in as you close down. 2 more. We're going to hold the next one. So step your feet away from you as far as you can. We're just going to hold here. Tuck your tailbone underneath, squeeze your glutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And from there, just slowly lower yourself down onto the mat. And then just really gently bring your knees in towards you. You can do 1 leg at a time. And that should feel really good on the back. Well done. So we don't often work into that kind of hamstring bridge. We tend with our Pilates to keep it focused to the glutes. So it's good every now and then just to challenge that slightly longer bridge. So let's give the hamstrings a stretch, because if you were like me, you were feeling a little bit of cramping with that last one. So just pop your left foot on the floor and support behind your right knee. Keep your focus to your deep breaths and slowly extend your foot up towards the ceiling. Breathe deeply. Holding that long leg position, squeezing through the front of the thigh. You want a little bit more, just draw your toes towards you. just to feel that lengthening through the whole of the back leg. And then slowly release. And we'll take that over to the left side. So bring your left leg up towards you and then straighten that knee out. That's it. Yeah, lovely. You can point and flex your toes. That's great. Or you can hold that toes towards you. Really good flexibility there. Well done. Just a couple more breaths. And then slowly come back down again. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more for the tummies now, but we're going to work them slightly differently. So we're going to use the kind of shoulders and connection with the ribs to challenge ourselves a little bit this evening. So back into your rest position. I just want you to place your hands on top of your rib cage and just physically press your ribs down towards the mat. So you should feel your rib cage connecting down into the floor, and you're going to try and keep that connection now. Release your hands, draw your tummy towards your spine, bring your hands up and over to the top of the mat, but don't let your rib cage lift off the floor. So you don't have to come all the way, as far as you can. And then if you've got space either side of you, you're going to sweep your arms around and down to the side. If you've not quite got space, just bring them back up and over the top of you. So the arms come up over to the top, we tighten the tummy as we come over, we gently connect into the ground with the rib cage, and then we bring those arms round and down. Breathe in to come up, and out to come round and down, or just up and over if you've not got that space behind you. Good. Just make sure your feet and knees are hip distance apart. That's better, good. Well done. Keep them going. Do about 3 more. Lovely. We've got something nice and gentle now. So I think we've worked hard. We've got a bit backwards today. We worked quite hard to begin with. So we're going to start to add just a stretch with your foot along the mat. So keep your foot gently pressed down into the floor. Now as your hands come over to the top, you're going to slide your foot away from you. So now you've got to keep that rib cage and lower back from lifting off the mat. And then as you bring your arms round and down or back over to the top, you're going to swing and bring that leg back to the centre. And then we're going to do that on the second side. So stretching the hands away from the feet and then folding back in. And keep an eye on the leg that's not moving as well. Got a little drink of something resting on that knee, so keep that knee nice and steady. Nice big motions with the arms, but without losing that control at the rib cage. And just let the position of the hands change as you feel comfortable. Notice how the shoulders rotate a little bit as you move them round, over and down. Good. Let's go for 3 more on each side. Nice, just working on a little bit of control to finish with. Good work, everyone. Looking nice. 2 more on each side. And then 1 more on each side. Keep these final 2 as controlled and precise as your first 2. Okay, and then I want you to stop with your hands over at the top and your right leg stretched out along the mat. So you're just going to hold your arms in this position. Now make sure the shoulders haven't crept up towards the ears, so kind of anchor the shoulder blades back down onto the rib cage. Keep that rib cage gently pressed down into the mat. Tighten your tummy a little bit and then slowly start to lift the right leg off the mat. You're drawing a line with your toe on the wall in front of you. Take it as high as you can work on that flexibility a little bit, and then slowly lower it back down again, and see if you can trace the same line that you drew on the way up. So you don't have to come high with the leg if it's too much, just work in a range that's comfortable for you. Now see if you can lift your leg up before it touches down onto the floor. So you're going to take it as low as you can without your back arching, and then bring it back up before it touches down. If you want a little bit more, you're going to bring your head and shoulders off the mat. Keep that tummy engaged, keep a gentle space between your chin and your chest. We've got 6 more with this leg. Good, keep that knee as straight as you can. Squeeze your thigh. A little bit straighter, Jill. Good. Good work, everyone. Keep going. 3 more. Remember, the head and shoulders can be lifted or lowered. Now, aren't those arms getting a little bit heavier now? Bring them back down if you need to at any point. 2 more. And then we're going to take the leg and we're going to lower it as low as we can. And we're going to hold here. Squeeze the thigh. Lift the head and shoulders if you can, or let the head rest down. And we're holding 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Super. Coming round, give yourself a hug on that right leg. Nice work, everyone. Nice, slow, controlled movements there. Let's see how we get on with the left side just to finish off. So set yourself back up in your table, in your rest position, sorry. You're going to slide your left leg out along the mat and you're going to reach your hands over to the top again. Just think about that rib cage. Can you connect it down into the mat? Squeeze your thigh muscle and begin to draw that line with your pencil that's attached to the end of your toe. See if you can take it up to the top. Nice big stretch for the hamstrings, and then slowly lower down. We prepped for this one with those stretches earlier. Do you get any clunking in the front of your hip? Just keep your movement a little bit smaller and gently press the back into the mat a little bit deeper. Just get the abs working a touch more. And if you want to, you can lift your head and shoulders off the mat. Slowly down, breathing out as we lower. That exhale to lower with the effort of that movement. 6 more from here. Well done, guys, nearly there. Remember, the head and shoulders can be lifted, or you can keep the head down on the mat. Looking strong, everyone. Well done. 3 more. 2 more. And then we hold the next one. So low as you can with that leg. Last little challenge. I want those tummies to be shaking now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Bring the left knee in. Let's bring both legs in if it feels okay to do so. And gently massage the small of your back into the mat. Super work there. Lots and lots of tummies in that plank to begin with. A little bit of a cardio workout as well. Bit of hamstrings, and then finishing back off with those tummies. So I think you know where you're going to feel that one tomorrow. Super. So when you're ready, bring yourself up to sit and just join me to say goodbye.